Welcome to the African Film Festival, celebrating its 7th year in Tarifa, southernmost point of Europe and direct window onto the African continent. The film festival has taken over the town for a whole week, with exhibitions, conferences and discussion meetings about African independencies spread all over the place, but African dance and drum workshops, nomadic cinema events and film creation workshops are also being staged during the festival's residence in Tarifa. Welcome to the 7th African Film Festival in Tarifa. It's been taking place from the 21st to the 29th. Today is the last day and it's been a week packed with new film, avant-garde and lots of buzz and obviously art everywhere you look. With me right now is the manager of the International Press Office, Federico. Federico, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Hola, how are you? Federico, tell us a little bit about the festival. It's now in its 7th year. What's the journey been like? How did it start? What was it like when you started right at the beginning?
Well, actually, this is the 7th year, as you rightly said, but it all started in 2004 when it wasn't an African film festival, but it was an African film showcase. It was called Muestra de Cine Africano. And so it all started as a very small showcase of African films in this small town which is Tarifa, facing Africa, because we consider that it could be a good space to try to see Africa differently. And then from an African film showcase we started growing up and we ended up becoming the major African film festival in Spain, and I would even say in Europe, as an English academic wrote in an article recently.
Federico, I can imagine with all the different backgrounds, countries present at this film festival, you will be covering a lot of topics. What genres are generally present at this film festival?
Well, there's actually a bit of everything in terms of film genres. We do center our attention in feature-length films who deals with African issues, but there is a good variety of documentaries as well and short films. But then in terms of styles, I would underline a big amount of socially realist films that deal with African problems, and also a whole range of what they call postmodern films, like very avant-garde and very influenced by very many different styles.
So what are you actually looking for in a film, for the film to qualify at the Tarifa Film Festival?
We are looking for films which give a realist gaze on Africa, because one of the things that we are trying to change somehow with this African Film Festival is exactly that, changing the representations of Africa in media.
Tell me about the categories of the awards and what the shortlist looks like for this year's festival.
Yeah, the awards, there are different awards. We are trying to select the best documentary, the best short film, and give a bit of a bigger space to feature-length films, because we do believe that also supporting economically African cinema, we are supporting the growing of an African film industry. This year we had a big surprise last night. We got as a best feature-length film Teza, which is a film directed by Haile Gerima, who is an Ethiopian filmmaker who is based in the US.
That's very interesting indeed, and suddenly the world becomes very small.
Exactly, because that's another thing that we should try to understand about Africa. Africa is on the global stage, so why conceive in African cinema only what it happens in Africa, but it's actually part of a global structure.
And on a very last note, what's your favorite one this year?
My favorite one is another Ethiopian one called Atletu, which means the athlete, and it's an amazing sporting film that represents the story of Bikila, this athlete who won in the Olympics of the 1960 in Rome. He was renowned because he started running barefoot, and he won the Olympics in Rome, and then that was one of the biggest first achievements of African countries in the Olympics. And this Raselas, his filmmaker, made an amazing portrayal of his life, and the whole story is just beautiful. I recommend it to anyone.
Okay, well, we shall look out for that one. For now, Federico, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much indeed.
ሚኒክ የመጨረሻ የመጀመሪያ ነው። ከዛ ድል በኋላ አጎቴን ከቤተሰቦቼ ጋር ሄጄ እንደምጠይቀው ቃል ገብቼለታለሁ። አንተም ትመጣለህ።
Then I eagerly await the 7th harvest.
All in all, 113 films are taking part this year, being screened in 8 different venues, with films originating from Senegal, South Africa, Kenya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Ethiopia, Mozambique, Uganda, Egypt, Burkina Faso, Nigeria and the Ivory Coast, to name but a few. And it's Kunle Afoyalan with his film The Figurine, which is otherwise known as Araro Mire, who is joining me now. Kunle, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Kunle, tell us a little bit about your film that's taking part in this year's film festival. Background really, what's it about? What motivated you?
Figurine is well, the story concept is about a deity, in Africa that gives 7 years of prosperity to anyone who touches it, and 7 years of bad luck. But really, it's more like a folklore. For me, I think it's a good story because so far it has really done well, not only in Nigeria but also in festivals and in other places where it's been screened. So best cinematography, best visual effects, best actor, and best film from Nigeria.
So you must be doing something right. I'm talking to a star.
Araromire. It's an ancient village named after a deity that brings good fortune. Coincidentally, Mona has been posted there. I'm sure you know.
Well, maybe my fortune is about to change. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think it's a good film that people want to see, and it's something new coming out of Nigeria.
That sounds all very exciting and incredible prospects to me. All the best, Kunle. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And the woman behind the African Film Festival who brought the event to life 7 years ago is the festival's director, Mane Cisneros. I spoke to her earlier when she told me that she had always had a great passion for African film, a passion that sparked off the beginning of the original showcase. 7 years on, she's very proud of the fact that the festival has gone from strength to strength. When asked about her favourite film this year, she replied that the film Teza touched her incredibly. So there you have it. The winner of the Best Feature-Length Film deserves its award good and proper, because if anyone knows a good African film when she sees one, it's Mane Cisneros. This is Claudia Pfeiffer for Destination Sotogrande in Tarifa.